Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Eco Tarot. This is Kensley, the Eco Tarotist, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit different for you in your reading today. I've already pulled all the cards that I was going to be using and to speed up some time. And of course, in your reading, you get all the cards and they all came out very naturally, so I couldn't necessarily put them back. And so we're just going to go with them. I think that's a lot of information, maybe TMI. But Scorpios, I think you can handle it. So I'm going to, tell you the main cards that I pulled, and then I'm going to just kind of go with the supporting cards as we go. You pulled out the brown bear spirit, take time out. Turkey spirit, give with gratitude and grace. Crow spirit, co-create with spirit. The shaman, trust in higher forces. And eagle, see from a higher perspective. Okay, so this, literally I was planning on just one card from each oracle and then we move forward. And it's just kind of grown from one card each. So now we're up to 3. Okay, so brown bear. Brown bear, brown bear, what do you see? Take time out. It wants you to rest. It wants you to rest from these supporting cards, which are the 5 of Wands from the back side and the King of Wands from the back side. And I think that you've had a lot of struggle. I think that you feel vulnerable. I feel like I'm trying to figure out how this is all going down. It's very spiritual. It's not very, it doesn't have a lot of, I don't know, it has a little bit of pentacles in this reading, but not crazy amounts. It doesn't have a lot of cups. It has no cups in it until the end. And I really do feel like there's a lot of wands. There's some swords. But let's just go with this. So, yeah, I feel that, not just resting. I think the bear spirit wants you to, I almost think of a bear as an annual death and rebirth. It is, we all live in a world where there's cycles of life, and spring, summer, fall, winter, and then you rejuvenate. And it's kind of the winter into spring kind of energy of going in within for a long contemplation, for a long sleep, for a long period of time where you were just recuperating, and then emerging anew, emerging as a fresh individual. And this could be at any point. I mean, I've done that anytime I've dated someone. I've taken time to myself to reflect as to what I wanted out of life, what the person I was dating, and then taking that time to really think about how I want to either change things or do the things the same in life. But you need these periods of self-reflection and quiet after a really hard struggle, after competition and fighting, internal fighting within. And you're left vulnerable to doubt the things that you were so sure of in the past. And then you've got, with the Turkey spirit, you've got the Hermit from behind and the Knight of Swords from behind. And this Hermit from behind, so normally the Hermit is, you just see him walking kind of only where the light, it's shining it just enough to guide him. So he's not really, he's just really focused on just really what's in front of him. And then, but this card, he's done that all the way up the mountain. And then he can see through this moonlight, through the light of the unknown, he can see all of these mountains. And his light of intuition, reflection, shines over those mountains. And he can see everything. And I think that it's like the end of a long period of reflection, of self-reflection. So, okay. So I'm seeing that is, it's kind of a snake type of reading. Wow. Okay, well, we'll just go with that. But I do feel like you've had some vulnerabilities. You're finished with your conflict. Whatever you've had in your life, you needed to take some time out, and you did. And now you're up at the summit, and you can see much farther than what was just lying in front of you. You can see clearly from a much higher perspective. That's interesting, coming in later. What you need to do. And this Knight of Swords from the backside is interesting because he seeks freedom. He's following this trail of swallows that are symbols of freedom. And I think, and this is an energy of fast action, but I feel in this context, it's an energy of finally being free. And maybe that's because you're at the top, the pinnacle of your understanding of things. You've done the work. You're starting to put in that gratitude that is so rare and so needed in ascending to a higher knowing of what spirituality is in this world. And this sense of freedom comes when you have contemplated and worked really hard on yourself and taking the time out for yourself. Hibernated. This is all about hibernating. It's absolutely right here. And now this card is this bear coming out of the cave. And it's only because you have turned all of the struggles in your life and the doubts that you've had, the struggles in your life and the doubts that you've had, you've turned those into lessons that give you gratitude. Yeah, I had to go through this struggle and realize that that person who is a total douche to me totally berated me online or in the grocery store or whatever, and just I just sat there and was like, what? That person, not only one, is there to teach you a lesson that you can only appreciate the good when you know how bad it can get. Number one. Number two, that person is going through so much more than you realize and is hurting so much more. There's two lessons always in someone being really mean to you and being vulnerable towards that and feeling shame and all of that about being vulnerable. But it's amazing. There's the two lessons. You cannot appreciate the good without having experienced the bad. I mean, you cannot appreciate the good without having experienced the bad. The second one is the bad is just a set of experiences that just leads to a path of knowing that this person is absolutely in pain and is taking his pain out on you. He's taking what his pain in his soul is and he's shooting it out into the world, and it's hitting you. And the quicker that you understand that horrible experience from that person that was mean to you, that it's a reflection on him and not you, has nothing to do with you, ever. Ever. The quicker you can understand that, the quicker you can realize how grateful you are for that experience, because it's teaching you what the good, it's allowing you to self-reflect and to train you and to teach you how that experience is actually good, because it brings you to an acceptance and a gratitude that is not, no one ever thinks of it like that. Everyone just is disgruntled by it, and they don't think about it in a different way. The quicker you can change your mind to switch and to understand that it's a gift, your whole perspective changes, and that freedom comes in fast. And that freedom aligns with this crow spirit, to be able to that things are aligning now that you're realizing that you're building. And then this is the supporting card. These are the supporting cards of the crow. A crow, which is a very smart creature in and of itself, very highly intelligent, has been studied to learn how to do things differently each time, not just go by genetic instinct alone. Learning. And I see that as you've come out of this period of contemplation. You're learning how to see things slightly differently and not just go by plain old genetic instinct anymore. You're learning to change your path and your fate. And I don't know. So let's think about this. So this is the Three of Pentacles looking forward and the Four of Pentacles looking forward. This is a progression. You're seeing this progression, and you're seeing this person working on something grand. And I like this depiction because it's like a physical it's a physical working on something and then a spiritual working on something. And two aspects of working on yourself physically and working on yourself spiritually. And then it comes into the Four of Pentacles. And normally I really do think of this card as kind of a really curmudgeon-y, just like holding on to the Lord, don't let it go. Whatever it is, don't let it go. And it's not always that way. You have to sometimes realize that Four of Pentacles is stability. It's 4 legs on a table. It's stable. I always try. I really do feel like it's within the context of the cards, but in this regard, I feel that it's building towards stability, spiritually and within the physical realm. When you start to use your mind and, you know, understand things from a different perspective, maybe. So then you get the shaman, trust in higher forces. And I think of the shaman as the magician. It's depicted as the magician in some other decks, and I think that's interesting. But I do think that this is the main thing here is trust. Trust. And then you have these two cards that are as part of this. The Queen of Swords looking forward and the Four of Swords from behind. I think the Queen of Swords is she's all in her mind. I think she has a very hard time trusting in a higher self, in higher forces. I think she wants facts, truth, honesty, cutting through the bullshit. I think she has a really, really hard time trusting in higher beings and higher forces in spirit. And it shows. This Four of Swords from the behind. Normally a Four of Swords card is, you think rest and recuperation and really kind of hermit energy. Not this one. Not the side you got. This is like, holy fucking shit, I just can't. This is the I just can't card. The everything's going up in smoke. I really tried. I'm exhausted. But now I'm exhausted to the point of no fucking way. I can't even recover from this. I can't even recover. Someone else is going to have to fight that battle, that flame. Someone else is going to have to do it. And that's interesting. I'm trying to like picture these two cards together and how they mean, what do they mean in the context of trusting in something that's higher, in a higher realm, trusting in this magician, trusting this shaman. And I really think that there's this doubt. There's this true and utter doubt associated with this Queen of Swords. You've done all of this work. You've done all of this work. And it's either you or another person has come in and is like, yeah, I don't fucking get it. I just don't. And it brings you back to total and utter devastation. Oh, that's interesting. I was really thinking this was just one person, but no, this is a very different energy. It's like this person has gone through a lot of transformation, and then this person is like, oh yeah, you came and talked to me trying to tell me that you're trusting in higher forces now, and I don't fucking believe it. No, I don't, because I believe facts only. And the reason why I know that is because that was me. I was the Queen of Swords and I didn't even realize it. Facts only, brutal honesty. I don't believe in this shit. And it kills you. It kills you. It devastates you to the point of you can't even go and recover, rest and recuperate. Fuck. My lady doesn't even believe me after I've told her about my spiritual journey. Or my man, whatever. This doesn't have to be a woman. It's a man. But she is expressing her dissatisfaction in the non-facts, the lack of facts and the lack of intellect associated with having to trust in something that is not there physically. It's really hard for someone intellectually to do that. Really hard. And it kicked you in your nuts. So this person needs, this other person needs to have some perspective. And their cards came in as the Emperor, in the forward, the Five of Swords forward, and the Page of Cups forward. Lots of cards, guys. Lots of cards. I was really not thinking that was separate. It was a different entity, energy. But I see, I don't know. So look at this. You've got this person. This is the Five of Swords. This is victory, but at what price? This is, I told you, victory. I told you. None of that shit's real. It's not real. But at what price? It has devastated this guy. Devastated this guy. The partner. The always gotta be right. Oh. This is the always gotta be right chick. I have a feeling you know her. Always gotta be right. Always gotta be. Oh, if I'm proven wrong, then you're an asshole. I'm an asshole. Been there, done that. This is, this is the, I'm either right, or when I'm wrong, I'm going to make you feel like shit for making me be wrong. Being right comes at a price. Being the emperor. Oh man, that's fucked up. The Queen of Swords and the Emperor and the Five of Swords. Being right all the time has its price. Yeah, you're the Emperor. You're right all the time, but at what cost? Look, he fought. This queen fought for that right to be true. At what price? At what cost? That kingdom is devastated. You're really gonna hang your hat on something to only, yeah, you're gonna win, but you're gonna win something broken. You're gonna win something broken. You've broken your partner's soul and spirit. But you got your kingdom. Wow. I was not expecting that. Oh, I hope that is not most people. But this person has to look at from a higher perspective to see that it's not always about being right. This partner, because this other person has done the work, a tremendous amount of work, gone through struggles, gone up to the mountain, found the freedom, is working really hard to be stable again. And in order to make something with themselves and spirit together, manifest. And yet that other person didn't believe. That other person cut through that bullshit. No, cut through what they thought was bullshit when it's not. And there's a price to pay. There's a price to pay when you cut through what you think is bullshit and it's not. Just because you can't intellectualize it. Spirituality is faith. It's really hard. It was really hard for someone like me, who's a scientist, who goes on facts and proven methodologies and principles and laws that we have found to not be true, but to have found that everything else seems to continue to be false against that law and principle, if that makes any sense. What is it in you've got your hypotheses in science, in your experiments, and hypotheses are not to determine what is true, but determine what is false. This is to determine, because only through the process of elimination can you sort of hone in on what could be true. And so it's really hard to just blindly go and saying, well, something's true. It's really hard. I struggle with it still. But that feeling, this whole, man, what a heavy read. Again, man, I'm not going to use these cards for a while because I want some comedy in here. I want some lightness and some love. But this shit is difficult. This shit right here is so difficult right now, and I'm so sorry that we're having to talk about it, but it's needed for somebody. Someone's going through this, and not, that someone is kind of annoyed that all of these love conversations about love and all this stuff, it's all frill. Oh, wait, they're gonna come. This is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. I'm so excited. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you have shit that you have to go through, and you're dealing with a shitty person in your life, and you love them, and you can't get past it. The only way through this is I take this as you can't. I don't think this person. Maybe this person will learn a lesson. I have a feeling. No, I think this is for you. I think this is for you to take it to a higher perspective and really see who this person is for what they are and what they've done to you. And maybe then, after many, a big period of time of contemplation, again, I mean, that's not in here, but I can't imagine. You're like, okay, I'll see the higher perspective. Oh yeah, that's a total psycho, and let's go into dating and be, it's great. No, there's a missing link over here that I have a feeling if I went into it all, I mean, the baseline is trust your instincts. And you feel stuck. This is the other underlying is, but oh wow, oh fuck, wow. Okay, so your underlying, which I sometimes have been forgetting because there's so many cards and I'm just like, that's too much. And I look over here and I see this Eight of Swords card and they're stuck, right? But this is the backside. This is the forward version of being stuck. And guess what? The backside, look how loosely tied those ropes are. And there's a sword that you can cut those ropes for yourself. And you can free yourself. And there's an eagle coming in. To free you, to allow you to see from a higher perspective. Oh, that gives me chills. Shit. And then, okay, magic works through you, through the scarab beetle. The dung beetle. Some sexy times. No, it's actually a very rebirthing kind of Egyptian type, honored animal. But then at the very end of this horribly hard reading, you get meep, meep, with this guy who's like, just like, hey, there's a fish popping out of my cup. Do you want to date me? Like, no, this is all about like starting from a new, fresh perspective in emotions and love and maybe trying something different from the person that you were tied up in. And it's going to be meek and it's going to be like, look at just, I don't know why the Page of Cups is perspective person. His facial expressions, can you see that? It's just like, hey, here's, and it's like, bloop, bloop, the fish in there. And I'm like, what the fuck is this card? But I do see this as like a pinch of hope, just a smidge of hope through all of this. And what really sealed the deal for me is the underlying that you have to free yourself from this person. And soar to a new perspective. Yourself. No one else is going to save you. But it's available for you to save yourself should you want to do it. Anyways. All right, Scorpios. Love you. Hope you have a great week. Talk to you soon. Love you. Bye-bye.